Hello everyone and welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm your host Alex and today we're diving into some fascinating AI research. We'll be looking at a paper called Chordonomicon Dataset of 666,000 songs and their chord progressions. So, chord progressions are super important in music, right? They basically form the skeleton of a song. But, the authors point out there hasn't really been a big enough dataset for modern AI, especially deep learning, to really dig into them. This paper introduces Chordonomicon, which is this huge new dataset of over 666,000 songs and their chords scraped from various online sources. Okay, so to give you a better idea of what's in this huge dataset, let's look at the genres. Figure 1 here shows a bar chart of the genre distribution. As you can see, pop is by far the most frequent genre, with over 80,000 songs. Then you've got rock, country, and alternative as the next biggest chunks. This reflects the kind of music that's popular on sites like Ultimate Guitar, where the data came from. It definitely leans towards pop and rock styles. Right, so besides looking at the big picture like genres, Chordonomicon also provides a different view for nearly every song. Take a look at Figure 3. This shows a specific track represented as a graph. Basically, each circle is a chord C, F, G, and so on. The arrows between them show the transitions, like moving from C to G. And those little numbers on the arrows? They indicate how frequently that specific transition happens in this particular song. So it's a way to map out the song's harmonic flow. Okay, so building on that idea of chord sequences within a song, the researchers also looked at how different genres compare harmonically. Figure 5 shows this using what they call chord quadrograms, basically common 4 chord sequences. This heat map shows the cosine similarity between genres. The brighter yellow and orange colors mean higher similarity. You can see how genres like pop rock, alternative, and punk cluster together. They share a lot of harmonic language. But then you see lower similarity, the darker reds and oranges, between pairs like jazz and electronic, or country and rap, indicating they use pretty different chord patterns. So we've looked at sequences like those 4 chord patterns and how they differ between genres. But what about the individual chords themselves across the whole dataset? Figure 4 gives us a glimpse of that. This pie chart shows the distribution of the most common chords. You can see G is the most frequent single chord, making up almost 14%. Followed closely by C, D, and A. Then there's a bunch of others like F, AM, E, and a pretty big slice labeled Others, which lumps together all the less common chords. So we saw the popular individual chords, G, C, D, and so on. But how long are the actual chord sequences for the songs in this dataset? Figure 6 gives us a look at that. This histogram shows the distribution of sequence lengths. Basically, how many chords are in a typical song's progression. You can see there's a big peak for shorter sequences, maybe around 10 to 40 chords or so, and then fewer and fewer songs have really long progressions. The average length is actually around 76 chords according to the paper, but the median is a bit lower. Okay, so we've seen the common chords, the typical sequence lengths, and even how different genres stack up harmonically. This Chordonomicon dataset is really quite something. Over 660,000 songs analyzed. It gives researchers a massive new resource for understanding musical structure at scale. And well, this kind of large-scale harmonic data is incredibly valuable for training better AI models for things like music information retrieval or even music generation. That's all for this episode. Thanks for tuning in to the AI Research Roundup. I'm your host, Alex.